is up, everyone? It's Loft Dimension here, otherwise known as Mason. We're back with another video, and I'm back from the dead, finally. Alright, so, basically, a long time ago, I made a rather cringy, Redstone tutorial thing. So, I'm just gonna remake that tutorial, and I'm actually gonna make this into a series, and I'm probably gonna end up teaching you guys how to build some computers and all that stuff. Alright. Basically, what you'll be needing is obviously redstone and all that stuff. So, basic stuff that we'll be covering today is redstone, color coding, circuits and stuff like that, repeaters, redstone torches, some basic logic gates, just stuff like that. Alright, so, redstone tab, you get your redstone, you get repeater. I won't be covering comparators today, that'll be in the next tutorial most likely. So yeah. What we will be doing though is we'll be doing a couple things with pistons, and probably be using redstone blocks. Probably not observers though. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm actually just going to grab, let's do white wool, that's easy enough. And we'll grab, actually yeah, just white wool. Alright. Alright, so yeah, so redstone can travel 15 blocks without the use of any repeaters or anything like that. So if I were to want to power, let's say, a piston, and it's 15 blocks away, so let me just do this real fast. Alright, so yeah, this is the 15 block limit. So if I go ahead here, and I place down lever, and I hit it, you can see that it travels all the way down, and gets to here. And so then it'll power a piston, like, let's say if I place a piston here, that piston will be powered. If I go one block further, you can see that this doesn't have any particles coming off of it, and that's because it's not receiving any power because it's reached the limit. That's basically how redstone limits work. You can basically extend the signal by doing a repeater like that, or if you want to get a little bit more length out of it for like a longer redstone line, what you can do is you can have a block like that and blocks like this and put the repeater here, because what this redstone is doing is it's powering this block, and so because this block is powered, the repeater is receiving power from that block, because the repeater can pull power from blocks and stuff like that. So if you were to power this block, the repeater will receive power. It'll then send the power into this block, and the redstone, let's say you have redstone on the other side of that block, it'll get powered. You could also have redstone, let's say, here, or on top, or really just wherever you want, that's touching this block. You could have it beneath, you could have it off on this side, doesn't really matter. One thing that will not work, though, is if you were to have a piece of redstone there. That won't work because redstone can only receive power if the block is being powered by, like, a repeater. So yeah, that's how redstone limits and stuff work. Let's move on to logic gates. Alright, moving on to the AND gate. AND gate is a fairly simple gate. Basically, it consists of 3 blocks like this, redstone torches here, here, and here, redstone dust right here, and you would have inputs here and here. Basically, how it works is if this one is on, but not this one, output's off. If you go the other way, output is still off. If both of them are down, the output's on. Now, I don't think I've gone over redstone torches yet. So basically what redstone torches allow you to do is they invert a signal. So that you flick the lever, and so basically the input yeah, the input's on right now, as shown by this, but the output is off because of the redstone torch inverting the signal. If it's on, the output's on, or if the input's off, the output's on. That was a bit hard for me to explain, and I don't know why, because it's a fairly simple concept. You can also have stuff like, there's other variations to AND gates and stuff like that. So you could have something similar to, like, you could use it for like a combo block, in which case you could have it be like this, and you would have your inputs like here, and whatever inputs you want to be used for the lock. So like, say I want to use this one, and this one, I'd place torches on those three, and then just basically do this, and run it into a block like that. So then basically, if this one, and this one's are all put down, then the output's off, or on. So that's how you could do a simple combination lock using a AND gate. Moving on, you have stuff like monostable circuits, which I will not be covering in this video. I'll most likely do next video along with comparators, just for the sake of simplicity. So you have stuff like XOR, stuff like that. Let me just set the time today real fast. Alright, sorry about that. So moving on, you have stuff like the OR gate, which basically, it's just a redstone torch on a block, like so. You also have exclusive OR gates. Or actually, no. Sorry, I did this wrong. OR gate is simply this, I believe. So, if this one is on, or that one is on, that's a NAND gate. Sorry about that. There we go, there's an OR gate. So if this one's on, output's on. Or if this one's on, then the output's on. If they're both on, output's still on. So that's a OR gate. You also have stuff like the exclusive OR gate, which a very simple way to build this, I'm going off the wiki for this, is you have blocks like this, with a block like this, and a block like that. So you have like from this side it's like an X shape, with at the bottom, with the two bottom pieces having a block coming out on the back. You have redstone torches here, 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 and here. And you just place redstone dust here, 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 and here. So basically, how the XOR gate works, or the exclusive OR gate works, is if this one is on, the output's on. If this one's on, if this one's on, the output's on. If they're both on, output's off. If they're both off, the output's off. So yeah, basically, a much easier way to build this, or I guess it's this is probably the most basic, compact version that you'd be able to build using only torches and redstone and stuff like that. But if you wanted to go for a much larger version that would make it a little bit easier to explain, what you would do is you would have your, let me figure this out here, give me a second. Alrighty, sorry about that. Anyways, in order to build a much larger but a little bit easier to understand XOR gate, basically you have a block here, and go 3 blocks over, block there. Here you'd have your inputs, like so. Basically, you place a torch here, place a torch there, do this with the redstone dust, place a block here with a redstone torch on top of that block, do this, have redstone coming off like this over here, place your 2 blocks like so, redstone torches on both of those. Connect them up like that, and there's your output. There's your output. So basically, what happens with this is you flick this, and what it does is it will turn off this torch, which basically, if you think about it, this is basically like an AND gate right here, because what you have is you have your, because it's basically an AND gate that's right here. So this is an AND gate, by having, if both of the inputs are on, then this is, on. So that basically disables both of these torches, which disable these, two outputs. And if you have one of them on, what it does is it will go and it'll disable the AND gate, thus basically disabling any power to these two. But then what it'll also do is it will disable this torch, thus turning on the output, because this torch will no longer be disabled because this output's obviously on, thus disabling this torch. And you get it, I'm pretty sure. It's sort of a simple concept. So yeah, that's how an exclusive OR gate would work. Alrighty, so I think the last logic gate that I'll probably be covering in this video will be a T flip-flop, which I'll be going back on what I said a little bit, because this will require a monostable circuit for simplicity reasons and stuff like that. So, while I'm at it, I might as well just go ahead and also include monostable circuits in here. So, I lied a bit. Monostable circuits will be included in this tutorial. Sorry about that. Anyways, to build monostable circuits basically consist of, you have, they're also used for, like, one-tick pulsing, basically, stuff like that. So you can basically turn a lever into a button, and, if you had a button, you could also turn the button into a lever using a T flip-flop. So, basically, you have your redstone line running like this, except now you have a repeater here. You can set this repeater to have how many ticks you want the redstone pulse to last. It can last up to 4, obviously, because repeaters work with, you place them down and they have a default of 1. Right-click them once, they turn to 2 ticks. Right-click them again, turn to 3 ticks. Right-click them again, they turn to 4 ticks. And then, if you right-click them again, they just reset. So, T flip-flops, the way they work, or not T flip-flops, monostable circuits, the way they work. You have your input there. You have a piston here. It could be a sticky piston, or it could also be a regular piston. If it's a regular piston, you'd have to have gravel or sand, for what you have on top of it. And then you'd basically put, if you're using a sticky piston, you can use any block. Basically, you place down your block on top of that sticky piston that's facing upwards, and if you hit the input, what you can see, I'm not sure if you saw that, this output right here flashed. If I increase the tick delay for that to set it to a 4-tick pulse, basically, and tick it again, you can see that it lasted for 4 ticks. So yeah, if you need to see it again, here's it again. So yeah, there you go. This is called a rising edge monostable circuit. In order to do a falling edge monostable circuit, which activates when the redstone pulse basically turns off, what you would do is it's basically the same exact thing, except that this time, I'll leave that on 4 ticks, and I'll turn this on 4 ticks as well. Basically have the same exact thing, except this time you have a torch or something. Oops. Except this time you have something to invert the signal, which basically the only thing that you can really have is a torch. So basically what it works by doing is if you turn on the signal, the torch gets turned off, obviously, which then retracts the piston. But if you disable the current that's flowing through it, what you can do is, since the torch will turn on, it will activate the monostable circuit and thus basically do the same exact thing. So yeah, that's how that works. If you have any questions, just let me know in the comment section, and I will be sure to answer them, or even do a follow-up video to answer questions, if I get enough of them. Anyways, T-flip-flops. Basically, what you do is you have your monostable circuit, except you want to have it only on a 1-tick pulse. So, make sure that your repeater there is only on a 1-tick pulse. Whoops. Place down a sticky piston or regular piston facing upwards. Just remember what I said for these. Basically, that rule applies to all 3 of these. Except that with the T-flip-flop that I'm going to be showing you guys, it will need a sticky piston. So, basically, you have your input, obviously, and what you do is you just simply have a piston coming off of that, like so, with a redstone block, and you want to go 1 block away like this, so that basically you have space for you to fit between here, and this is your output right here. So just keep that in mind. That right there is your output. Basically, what it works by doing is you flip the lever, and this piston gets 1 ticked pulse. Now, be warned, because this only works with PC edition. I am not sure about console or Pocket Edition. Well, I know for a fact that it won't work with Pocket Edition, because pistons in Pocket Edition don't get 1 tick pulse at all, because they also don't have quasi connectivity, which I'm not going to delve into that into this tutorial. So, yeah. Basically, yeah, so then if I just retract that by flicking off this piston, or lever, not piston, then I do it again, you can see that the redstone pulse gets turned off, and it gets turned back on, turned back off, turned back on, turned back off, turned back on, turned back off. You could also do this with a button. So yeah, you can also do this with a button. So basically what this allows you to do is it allows you to have a button act as a lever. So yeah, so that's how those work. AND gates, both inputs have to be on in order for the output to be on. OR gates, either one of the output or inputs can be on for the output to be on. Exclusive OR gates, or XOR gates, either one of the outputs have to be on, or inputs have to be on for the output to be on, but not both. If both of the inputs are on, then the output's off. It's also an XOR gate. Monostable circuits basically allow you to have pulsing and falling edge, or this is a rising edge monostable circuit. So it pulses on the redstone turning on. Falling edge monostable circuit pulse when the redstone turns off. And T-flip-flops allow you to have buttons work as levers. They have some other uses and stuff like that, like in binary counters and that sort of thing. So I think that's going to wrap it up for this tutorial. I will probably be, once this gets uploaded, I'll wait a while for the next tutorial. So probably expect that to come out maybe within the next week. So yeah, just anybody wants to see like me build a computer and do a tutorial series on that, explaining all of that, then leave a like and all that stuff. If you want to see me continue the series, also leave a like. So yeah, that's basically going to wrap it up for this tutorial.